Okay, the first thing we're going to do after we're done with our e.l.f. tutorial in order to create a little more sparkle besides the lens flare is we're going to create a sparkle brush. So we're going to go up to File, New, and we're going to create a new document that is measured in pixels, not in inches. So typically we'd have inches in here. Right now we're going to go to pixels. It's going to be 200 by 200 with 300 resolution, and the background contents need to be white. Once you have those figures in there, you can click OK, and what pops up is just a white square. So what we're going to do now is we are going to, oops, I already created one. What we are going to do right now is we are going to make sure that our foreground color is black. If you have other colors in here, you can just hit the letter D and it will default to black and white. And then the X will toggle between the two so you can switch more quickly. So make sure black is on top because that's the foreground. You want to make sure that on your paintbrush, we have the mode is normal, the opacity is 100, and the flow is 100. Then you're ready to start. So you're going to go to the brushes palette. It's the third icon over on the top. It will bring up this palette on the side. And what you're going to do is you're going to find brush 70, which is near the bottom. I can find them. Too far. Right here. I'm going to have him selected and I'm going to click a few spots randomly on my canvas here. Okay, maybe one more. Then I'm going to select brush 21. It's a round brush. They're not in number order, unfortunately. So when you're looking, you just kind of have to keep your eyes open. It's going to look like just a soft airbrushy dot. Similar to these. Okay. Going too far again. Nope. Right here. There he is. And now I'm going to click a few more spots on my canvas. And we want to try and balance this out so you don't have one spot that has more than others. You're going to go down to the preset manager, which is this middle icon here, and click on it. I've already appended my brushes, so I'm not going to do it again, but I'll show you how to do that. You're going to click this little triangle button, and I've already selected assorted brushes. When you do that, it will ask you, okay, cancel or append. You want to click append. Otherwise, you're going to get rid of all your other brushes and you won't have them anymore. This way, it just adds to them. But I've already done it, so I already have them here. Then click done. Now you have other brushes in here to choose from, so I'm going to try to find brush 50. It's a small starburst. So if you keep your eyes open for a small starburst shaped brush that has the number 50. Right there. All right, and I'm going to add a few more speckles, again, trying to balance it out. Okay, once I have this completed, I'm going to go up to Edit, Define Brush Preset, and I'm going to name this Capalbo's Sparkle Brush. You're going to name it with your name. You're not going to write Capalbo. Whatever your name is, you're going to name it with your name. And then you should click OK. Now you should, right now I have my brush. It looks exactly like what I did right there. So you should be able to find that up here in your palette. I've created two. Okay. What I'm going to do is now I can close this without saving it. I don't need it. Nope. All right, because I have my brush created. So you're going to go to your e.l.f. You're going to go to Layer, New, Layer, and you're going to name it Sparkles. This way, if you don't like how it looks, you can always delete this layer without affecting your original. You're going to set white to your foreground color. So again, you can hit X to switch between the two. You're going to make sure that you're on your sparkle brush, which should look like a bunch of speckles. And then you want this palette still open, and you want to go to Shape Dynamics. under size jitter right up here, you want this to be 25, okay? And the fade number to also be 25, okay? This it might be on pen pressure at first. You need to change that to fade and make this number 25. So 25, 25, and fade. Then you're gonna go over to scattering. Make sure you click the words. Remember, if you just click the box, it's not gonna bring you into the option. You're going to have 110 up here for the scatter percentage, 3 for the count, and 35 for the count jitter. And you can see my brush starting to morph a little bit. Then you're going to click on brush tip shape. And I want the spacing to be 50%. I want them to be more scattered, more spread out. Now you're going to paint your sparkle trail whatever you want it on here. So I can make my brush bigger and smaller. Okay. And I'm creating my sparkle. That's too much, too heavy. Too heavy again. I'm just going to stamp. You can have some that are bigger and smaller. You're almost just creating a border. You don't want it to come too far into your image. It's almost like snowflakes. You can make some that are really tiny. Your goal is to just make sure that it looks like it's balanced and it's not too heavy in one spot than another. If you drag, it'll kind of create a trail. So you can try to do something with that as well. You can mess around and see what looks good for your particular image. Sometimes you can try and go quickly around the side. Okay. Once you feel like you have enough going on, and you don't want to add any more, I'm going to take some away because I don't like how many I have. Sometimes it looks better when they're a little bit bigger. Just going to have to finesse it. All right. Once you have enough and you're happy with what you have and you've created a variety of sizes, then you can also duplicate this layer if you want it to be a little bit darker or brighter. Layer, duplicate layer, okay? And it'll intensify a little bit. Okay, if you don't like that, if you want to tone it down a little bit, you can go to Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur, and it will blur them out just a little bit. Again, step back. Oh, you won't be able to see too much unless, because it's just that white, the white brush, the white sparkles. You can select a pixel radius of 4 and see if you like that. It's very, very subtle. You'd have to zoom in really far to see it. But now you have the two. Between the two of them, the one will be just a little bit more faint, a little bit blurry around the edge. If you don't like both of them, you could always take one away. If I wanted to take that one off, I could if it was too intense for me. You could also bring down the opacity if it's too intense when you're painting them, so that it's not so crazy, okay? You can also add, if you're on your sparkles, you can come down and you can add an effect of outer glow. This one brightens up a little bit too. You're going to make sure your mode is screen, the opacity is around 60, and then you can pick any color you want. You can make them a little bit pinker, a little bit bluer, whatever kind of glow you're looking for around your edges there. Click OK. Right now I have the pink. Once you're happy with what it looks like, you can, oh, and this should be, sorry, color to transparent, which is here, okay? We selected our color. All right, and then click OK. Once you're happy, you can save as a PSD so that if we need to change the sparkles, we can. You'll go up to File, Save As, and then you can name this. It should be automatically a Photoshop document. You can call this Luca Elf or whatever elf with sparkles. Save, and then you'll also save it again as a JPEG so that it smushes the layers together and you can upload to. With this, I'll give you the extra credit on the sparkles since it wasn't required for the project. Save as, JPEG, and save. Make sure that's all the way up to maximum again. Okay? All right, and that is it. So you've completed this tutorial.